Hi guys, so I'm going to show a demo for the file management system for the observables. So starting off, we're just going to use a simple system where whenever we press the save button, these three values will be saved to a separate file for each value. You can do it again with pretty much every observable type except for any that derive from a Unity object. That's because Unity objects tend to be dependent on being in play mode or not. They shouldn't really persist. So let's dig in. So as you can see, for an observable transform, I don't have anything. And then health, you got your observable float, and then you got this observable file management complete variant. So you have an observable file name, we're dealing with health, so the name, and then the extension, we're dealing with binary serialization, so it's going to be file type .dat. And then you have your observable saver game object, which contains all this. Basically, all adds up to saving your observable. And then you have your loader script, same exact thing except dealing with loading. So if we take a look at the observable file controller references complete script, you have your file action and your file name and your reference to your observable. So actually in this case, the reference to this observable doesn't matter, and I'll show why in a second. And then you have initiate on start. That's for, you're most likely never going to use it for saving. However, for loading, you'll be able to load in your data on start if necessary. And then same exact thing for is running and my custom class. So then if we go down to our save button, we can see here that it references each of the saver scripts. And then if we go to that references complete script, we're using the initiate action with passing in the observable variable. Now remember how it does have the observable variable on the script itself? You can just as easily do this. Select that option and it will work just the same. However, for more dynamic use cases, you can use this method as well. So just show for example actually. So we're going to go ahead and press play. And then if we go to our saver script, or health variable, we add 100, we add 1,000, is running, let's just toggle that to true. And then my custom class, we're going to set that to test, and then 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to go ahead and press the save button. So it's all saved, all good and dandy. We're going to exit play mode. And then we're going to press play and everything will show back up as we just had it. Yep, as you can see, it all saved. And then the my custom class even saved. We got our properties we entered earlier. And then another cool thing here, some helper methods. We can straight up delete the file here from within the editor, or we can reveal it in the Finder. So if we select that, we get taken automatically to the save spot for these, which by default is to this location, and then the name that you entered. If you were to open these, it would not be readable. That is because if we go to here, file management, actions will work. Then we go to formats. We have binary and then JSON. JSON is the same thing except using the default JSON utility stuff. However, that's currently not supported as JSON utility seems to lack in support in that regard. However, binary serialization works perfectly, so I recommend you do that. If working in simple enough cases, hopefully advanced cases as well, saving and loading should be hassle-free. So understanding the data you're trying to save or load shouldn't be a big limitation. So yeah, that's one way to do it. You can use the save button to save at a specific time, or you are able to save on the value change, similar to how the observable value displayer.set method works. Again, same things here. You got all this, different file name. You can see we removed the references complete script because we straight up don't need the reference for this implementation. So to save for memory, we went ahead and used the file action and name reference controller script, which basically just gets rid of the observable reference, saves us having to deal with one of those. And then here, we use that saver script and initiate action. So then initiate action, you notice no parameter is set, it is dynamically set. You can see as well, if you also want to force a parameter, you could. However, we do not. So, if we go here and press play, and we open current target. So notice how I gave current target a file management system this time. That's because I will show you everything set up for it to save. However, remember I said it's not supported. So if we go ahead and do what's seen in the last video is just setting to a random transform in our scene, we will get an error returned saying the saving of Unity objects is not supported. And it will not create the file, it will not try to save it, it will simply return out of the function. Okay, and then we go to health, we add 100, it is running, let's just toggle that to true. And then my custom class, test 1, 2, 3, 4, just to prove that we're dealing with different files. So those already saved. We don't have to do anything. I believe with custom class, there will not be a change here actually. What will have happened is since these values are not, since the observables looking at the entire my custom class to change, I don't believe it would save. So I think in this case, my custom class would have to be manually saved or saved at a separate point. For instance, you can just simply tie it to the health saving or whatever. So if we exit play mode, re-enter, we get 100, true, and my suspicions are actually correct. Notice how nothing was loaded in here because no change to the my custom class was experienced, which is to be expected because the value here is not dealing with these guys. The event does not fire when any of these change. It changes when the my custom class reference itself changes. I will show an example of that in another video. But there you have it. You've got a fully fledged saving and loading system for the observables. Please let me know of any feedback or suggestions. I would be greatly appreciated to hear them. Thanks. See you in the next video.